the Democratic nominee for governor of the state of Vermont, David Zuckerman, with us tonight. So, David, hello there.
Hey, Amber, good to see you again.
Nice seeing you. You were on the show last week, and I just want to make it clear that we did invite your opponent, Governor Phil Scott, to come on the show last week and again tonight. But apparently he's busy, so that's okay. That's right.
Yeah.
So, David, you were originally a member of the House of Representatives for the Vermont, and then the state Senate. Then you're currently Lieutenant Governor. Now you want to be governor. You run a lot of campaigns. How different is this year's campaign of the ones in the past?
Well, first, I want to say the House of Representatives is very different than the House of LeMay. It's just not the same. There's a very different energy, but it's extremely different. This has been a lot of virtual campaigning. A lot of folks in Vermont are really focused on the national level, trying to make sure the Senate maybe changes. The president and the race for president has dominated everyone's conversation. So it's just different in that way, trying to reach people remotely, trying to find people where they are and just get them information so they can be well informed, whether it's for me or for somebody else. Folks, I just want to say the talent that you brought onto this show far surpasses any fun talent that I have. So it's been a lot of fun to watch that. But you try to reach people where they are, whether it's through fun talent, whether it's through facts and issues, whether it's emotional connection, and you do what you can.
So, David, why did you first choose to run and be a public servant?
I didn't choose to run initially. I was asked to run back in 1994 by some folks who I met when I had first learned about Bernie back in 1992 as a student. And I thought, here's someone as a political figure who just says what he believes, doesn't take corporate money, and says, take me or leave me, but here's who I am. And I think so many people were searching for that then, and of course are searching for that now, is a political figure that just says what they believe. And that inspired me to get involved, volunteer for him. Folks asked me to run. I actually lost that first time in 1994 by 59 votes. And I know earlier you talked about Bernie's win by 10. Bernie's win by 10 for mayor is more or less the equivalent of Trump's win in Michigan by 10,000. So every vote does count. And that's what we're talking about tonight. And you don't always get who you want to pick from, but that means get involved in the primaries. That means start pushing those of us in office to be better for what you want. But voting is a key piece of it. And I just want to say, lots of people have different talents. You don't have to have a talent. You don't have to have tons of knowledge. You don't have to know everything about everybody. Your right to vote is fundamentally yours, no matter how you want to exercise it, what research you want to do, whether you want to vote for someone because they're a guy with a ponytail, or whether they're male or female, or care about the environment or jobs. That's your fundamental choice. You can vote for people no matter what your reason is. Don't let someone say, well, you don't have a right because you didn't do enough research, or you're not smart enough, or you don't know enough about everybody. It's your right 100%.
How cool. How very true. So, David, have you voted?
I have filled in all my little ovals. But my team said, no, you've got to vote on election day. So the TV cameras will show you voting, which I'm a little bit drawn back. I love to vote in person. I did want to vote by mail early because I felt like for everyone's protection, it's safer that way for the poll workers. The good news in Vermont is we don't tend to have those really long lines. Our voting places tend to set up a lot of booths and a lot of space for people to vote. And I think that's something else people should know. In those states where there's been suppression, or there's not enough polling places, that's determined by the elected people. Mm-hmm. So you need to demand more from your elected people and say, you should make voting easier. People working full time can't stand in line for 6 hours. Oh. So those are the things you can demand of your elected officials, and vote, and then push them to do more for you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure a busy time of your life right now, but coming on and sharing your story with us, David. Thank you, and good luck on the campaign trail.
Thanks for having a great event. This is fantastic, Amber.
Well, thank you so much, David. David Zuckerman, the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Vermont and the Democratic nominee for governor.